Welcome to Limitless Success TV. If you've ever felt stuck, like no matter how hard you work, your dreams are always just out of reach, then this video is for you. Let me ask you a question. What if everything you've ever wanted was just 3 days away? 3 days. That's it. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me. History is filled with stories of people who achieved extraordinary things in just 72 hours. Take Kilian Yetta, a mountaineer who scaled Mount Everest twice in only 3 days, a feat that typically takes 2 months. Or consider Robert Louis Stevenson, who wrote the entire first draft of The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in just 3 days. So, if that's possible, let me ask you, what's stopping you from making massive progress in just 3 days? I'll tell you what it is. It's not time. It's not resources. It's speed. The most successful people in the world don't have more hours in the day than you. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't waste time overanalyzing every decision. They move fast. They take action before they feel ready. They understand that success isn't about how long you work, it's about how quickly you execute. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'll be revealing battle-tested frameworks used by billionaires, elite athletes, and even Navy SEALs to help you turn 1 year of progress into just 3 days. You'll discover the one rule Jeff Bezos used to build Amazon into a $1 trillion empire. How Elon Musk outpaced the competition by starting before he was ready. The secret military strategy that forces you to take action fast. And to prove just how much can be done in 3 days. I'm doing something I've never done before. But you'll have to stick around until the end to find out. So, if you're ready to stop waiting, stop making excuses, and start changing your life faster than you ever thought possible, then let's dive in. This is Limitless Success TV. And today, we're about to unlock your full potential. Let's go. The 70-30 rule. Why perfection is slowing you down. Most people fail not because they lack ambition, intelligence, or resources, but because they wait too long. They hesitate. They tell themselves, I'll start when I have the perfect plan, the perfect timing, the perfect strategy. But let me tell you a hard truth. Perfection is a lie. It's a myth we tell ourselves to justify inaction. Look around at the most successful people in the world. Do you think they waited for the perfect moment? No. They moved. They made decisions. They failed fast, learned fast, and adjusted even faster. That's the difference between those who achieve success and those who spend their lives dreaming about it. Take Jeff Bezos, for example. When he built Amazon, he didn't have everything figured out. He didn't have perfect data or a foolproof plan. What he had was speed. He knew that in business, hesitation kills opportunity. That's why he built Amazon using what he calls the two-way door concept. Most decisions, he argues, are reversible, like walking through a door. If you walk through and don't like what you see, you can turn around and go back. The problem? Most people treat every decision like a one-way door, a choice so critical that it must be endlessly analyzed before action is taken. But waiting for perfection slows you down. And in a fast-moving world, slow is the same as losing. Let's look at a real-world example. When Amazon introduced one-day delivery, did they have a flawless system in place? Absolutely not. If they had waited for perfection, they would have lost to competitors who were willing to take action first. Instead, they launched the service with 70% confidence, refined the logistics on the go, and dominated the market. Today, people don't just want fast shipping, they expect it. And Amazon owns that space because they moved fast before anyone else did. Now, apply this to your own life. How many opportunities have you missed because you were waiting to feel ready? How many ideas have you abandoned because you weren't 100% sure they would work? Here's the truth. You will never be 100% sure. No one is. And those who succeed aren't waiting for certainty. They're acting with 70% confidence and figuring out the rest along the way. So, here's what you need to do. Stop overthinking. Your mind will always find reasons why something isn't ready, why the timing isn't right. Ignore it. Set a 30-minute timer. The next time you need to make a decision, don't spend hours, or worse, days, analyzing every possibility. Give yourself 30 minutes to gather information and make the call. Use the 70% rule. Ask yourself, do I have 70% of the information I need? If yes, go. If no, Quickly gather what's missing and then go. Adjust later. If it turns out to be the wrong move, you can always pivot, but making some progress is always better than making none. And here's what research tells us. Fast decision makers outperform slow decision makers every single time. A study from the Harvard Business Review found that companies with a culture of rapid decision-making outperformed competitors who relied on extensive analysis and bureaucracy. Because here's the thing, every second you spend hesitating, someone else is moving forward. Think about that for a moment. While you're debating whether to launch that business, someone else is launching it. While you're wondering if now is the right time to invest, someone else is buying the stock. While you're trying to perfect your marketing strategy, someone else is already testing and improving theirs in real time. Success isn't about knowing everything before you start. It's about starting, making adjustments, and learning as you go. The people at the top didn't get there by waiting. They got there by moving. So the next time you feel stuck, ask yourself, am I waiting for perfection? Or am I ready to move at 70% confidence? Because if you wait for 100%, you'll be waiting forever. Goal shielding. How Navy SEALs prioritize for maximum impact. Have you ever ended a long, exhausting day, only to realize that, despite all your effort, you barely made progress on what truly matters? You felt busy, but, at the same time, you felt like you were running in place. That's because being busy is not the same as being productive. Most people don't fail because they aren't working hard, they fail because they're working on the wrong things. Successful people, whether they're elite athletes, top executives, or military leaders, understand that not all tasks are created equal. That's why they operate using a system called goal shielding, a strategy designed to filter out distractions and focus only on what truly moves the needle. Navy SEALs use this to stay alive in combat. CEOs use it to scale billion-dollar companies. And if you apply it to your own life, you'll unlock a level of efficiency that will leave most people wondering how you get so much done. Here's how it works. Every task in your life falls into one of three categories: critical, essential, or enhancing. First, we have critical tasks. These are the absolute musts. If they don't get done, everything falls apart. Think of it like this. If your car has no tires, you can't drive. You can have the best car in the world, but without tires, you're going nowhere. In business, a critical task might be closing a deal, launching a product, or meeting a strict deadline. In your personal life, it might be taking care of your health or fulfilling a crucial commitment. Next, we have essential tasks. These are important, but they don't demand immediate attention. If you're low on gas, you can still drive for now, but you'll need to refuel soon. In work, essential tasks might include long-term planning, learning new skills, or networking. Things that are important but won't cause immediate failure if they're delayed. However, if you ignore them for too long, they will become critical. Finally, we have enhancing tasks. These are the nice-to-haves. If you could install a supercharger on your car, great, but your car will still run fine without it. These are the tasks people love to focus on because they feel productive but don't actually move the needle. This includes tweaking your website design endlessly, perfecting a PowerPoint presentation that was already good enough, or spending hours organizing emails instead of replying to them. Here's where most people get it wrong. They spend the majority of their time on enhancing tasks. They feel busy, but they aren't actually making meaningful progress. This is why, at the end of the day, they feel exhausted but unfulfilled, because they worked hard on things that didn't truly matter. So, what's the solution? Look at your to-do list right now. Ask yourself, is this task critical, essential, or enhancing? If it's not critical or essential, delete it, delegate it, or push it way down the list. Be ruthless. This isn't about feeling good, it's about getting results. Here's an exercise. For 1 week, start each morning by identifying the 3 most critical tasks for the day. If you finish those, move on to essential ones. If you have time, you can tackle enhancing tasks, but only if everything important is already done. You'll be shocked at how much more productive you become, and how much time you actually free up. The biggest mistake you can make is treating all tasks as equal. They're not. The difference between high performers and everyone else isn't that they work harder, it's that they work smarter. They cut the noise, eliminate what doesn't matter, and focus only on the tasks that create real impact. And that's exactly what you need to start doing today. The delusion of productivity, why you're still stuck. Most people believe that if they're doing something, they must be making progress. They think that reading another book, listening to another podcast, or attending another meeting is bringing them closer to their goals. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Activity is not the same as progress. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're moving forward. Think about it. How many times have you spent hours researching, gathering information, or planning for something, only to end up exactly where you started? How often do people convince themselves that they're making progress when, in reality, they're just procrastinating in disguise? This is what I call the delusion of productivity. It's the trap of endless preparation, where you feel like you're working hard, but in reality, you're just avoiding real action. Elon Musk is a perfect example of someone who rejects this mindset completely. When Tesla built its first gigafactory, they didn't wait for a perfect, finalized design before breaking ground. They started building immediately and figured out the details along the way. If they had waited for everything to be perfect, they would have wasted months or even years, and their competitors would have overtaken them. Instead, they moved first and won. Now, let's talk about you. How many opportunities have you lost because you were waiting to feel ready? How many times have you told yourself, "I'll start when I have a perfect plan," only to realize months later that you're still in the same place? Let me tell you something. You will never feel 100% ready. And if you wait for perfection, you'll be waiting forever. So here's what you need to do. Stop preparing. Start executing. If you have a rough plan, that's enough. Start today. Figure out the details as you go. The people who succeed are not the ones who spend the most time preparing. They're the ones who take action first and adjust along the way. There's a reason why they say speed wins and perfection kills. Because the world rewards those who move fast. The faster you take action, the faster you get real feedback. And real feedback is 1,000 times more valuable than theoretical planning. Most people think success comes from knowing everything before they start. But the truth is, success comes from starting before you know everything. The most successful entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators in history all share one trait: they don't wait. They don't let uncertainty paralyze them. They take risks, they make decisions, and they learn from experience, not from overanalyzing every possible outcome. So the next time you catch yourself reading another book, listening to another podcast, or sitting in another meeting without taking action, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this truly helping me move forward? Or am I just delaying action because I'm afraid of making mistakes? Because the truth is, you will make mistakes, but mistakes aren't what hold you back. Inaction is. The people who achieve the most in life aren't the ones who wait for the perfect moment. They are the ones who take imperfect action, over and over again, until they succeed. The 5-minute rule: do it now. The simplest way to get more done isn't about working harder, longer hours, or cramming more tasks into your schedule. It's about handling small things immediately before they become big things. And that's exactly why the 5-minute rule is so powerful. Here's how it works. If a task takes less than 5 minutes, do it now. No delays. No putting it on a to-do list. No mental debate. Just get it done. Most people spend more time thinking about a task than actually doing it. You've probably experienced this before. An unread email sits in your inbox for hours because you keep telling yourself you'll reply later. A simple message needs a response. But instead of handling it right away, you push it to later, which turns into a day. Then 2 days. Then a week. Before you know it, you've got a backlog of small, unfinished tasks that weigh you down mentally and eat up time you could be using for things that actually move the needle. Think about it. How much mental energy do you waste thinking about unfinished business? A task that takes 3 minutes can live in your head for 3 days if you don't address it immediately. That's wasted time, focus, and energy. And the worst part? The more tasks you put off, the bigger and more overwhelming they feel. Mark Twain famously said, "If you have to eat a frog, eat it first thing in the morning. If you have 2 frogs, eat the big one first." What does this mean? It means if there's something unpleasant, get it over with. If there are 2 difficult tasks, tackle the hardest one first. The more you delay, the more your brain builds resistance. And the more resistance you build, the more likely you are to keep procrastinating. Now, let's take it a step further. If something takes less than 30 seconds, do it immediately. Without even thinking, answer that message, move that document, put that dish in the sink. These micro decisions add up. And by eliminating them quickly, you free your brain for the work that truly matters. Here's an example. Think of the most productive people you know. Do they let emails pile up? Do they put off simple decisions? No. They handle small things instantly so they can stay focused on big things. Every single successful entrepreneur, CEO, and high performer follows this principle in some way. They don't let minor tasks drain their energy. They eliminate them the moment they appear. The 5-minute rule is not just about saving time. It's about freeing your mind from unnecessary clutter. When you clear out small tasks instantly, you create mental space for deep work, creativity, and the tasks that will actually drive results in your life. So starting today, here's your challenge. Every time you come across a small task, don't hesitate. Don't add it to a list. Don't leave it for later. Handle it immediately. You'll be shocked at how much lighter, clearer, and more productive your days become. The 3-day challenge. Are you ready to change your life? Meetings have become one of the biggest productivity killers in the modern workplace. People sit through hours of discussions, listening to information they don't need, contributing to conversations that could have been summed up in an email, and walking away with no real progress. The worst part? Most people don't even realize how much time they're wasting because meetings feel productive. But here's the truth. Most meetings are completely unnecessary. Elon Musk understands this better than anyone. That's why he bans useless meetings at Tesla and SpaceX. His rule is simple. If a meeting doesn't create enormous value, it shouldn't happen. He encourages his employees to walk out of any meeting where they aren't contributing or gaining something significant. Think about that. He doesn't just suggest fewer meetings. He actively pushes his teams to avoid them altogether unless they are absolutely necessary. And the numbers prove why this is so important. The average executive spends 23 hours a week in meetings. That's half their entire work week gone, just sitting in rooms, or worse, Zoom calls, talking about things that could have been handled in minutes. Now, ask yourself, how many of those meetings actually led to something meaningful? If you're being honest, the answer is probably very few. The problem is, most people don't challenge this. They accept meetings as a necessary evil, even when they could have spent that time doing actual, high-impact work. The reality is, meetings are often just another form of procrastination, a way to feel busy without actually moving the needle. So what's the solution? Be ruthless with your time. Before agreeing to a meeting, ask yourself, can this be solved with a 10-minute call? Can it be handled in a short email? If the answer is yes, skip the meeting and find a faster way to communicate. Here's a challenge. For the next week, replace every non-essential meeting with a quick email, a voice note, or a brief call. You'll be shocked at how much time you free up. And more importantly, you'll realize that most of what happens in meetings doesn't actually require a meeting at all. The key is to protect your time like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Every hour wasted in a meeting is an hour you could have spent solving real problems, building your business, or working on something that truly matters. High performers don't let their schedules get filled with pointless discussions. They prioritize deep work over unnecessary conversations. So from now on, before you automatically say yes to another meeting, stop and ask yourself, is this worth an hour of my life? If not, find a better way, because in the end, your success isn't determined by how many meetings you attend, it's determined by how much real work you get done. If there's one thing you take away from this video, let it be this. Speed is the ultimate advantage. Success isn't about how long you work, it's about how fast you move. The world's most successful people aren't waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions. They're creating those conditions by taking action first and adjusting along the way. Think about everything we've covered. Most people fail because they wait. They overthink. They plan endlessly but never execute. They get lost in meetings, distractions, and unnecessary tasks instead of focusing on what truly matters. But the people who rise to the top? They move differently. They make decisions quickly. They cut the fluff. And they prioritize action over perfection. Jeff Bezos didn't build Amazon by waiting for the perfect strategy. He acted at 70% confidence and refined things as he went. Elon Musk didn't wait for a fully polished blueprint to start building Tesla's Gigafactory. He got moving and figured it out along the way. Navy SEALs don't spend hours debating every move, they execute, adjust, and keep pushing forward. The lesson? You will never feel fully ready. You will never have all the answers. And if you wait, you will lose. So here's the challenge. Take action now. Start that project. Make that decision. Clear your to-do list of the nonsense that's holding you back. If you're waiting for a sign, this is it. Success belongs to those who move. And let's be real, 3 days from now, you could be in a completely different position. You could have built momentum on something you've been delaying for months. You could be ahead of 99% of the people still stuck in the cycle of overthinking and hesitation. But only if you start today. This is where most people will drop off. They'll hear this, they'll get inspired, but then they'll go back to their usual routine. Don't let that be you. Be different. Be the person who actually takes action. So here's what I want you to do next. Pick one thing. Just one, and execute it today. No more waiting. No more overanalyzing. If it's a decision you've been delaying, make it. If it's a project you've been putting off, start it. If it's a habit you've been meaning to change, do it now. And if you're serious about transforming your mindset and taking your success to the next level, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video like this. Because here at Limitless Success TV, we believe your potential has no limits. Now, the only question left is, will you take action? The choice is yours.